want it as much. And if I know that he wants it, then I will do what I have to do.
Right.
But I'm not going to, like you said, just go completely ham and take out $100,000 in loans. I mean, shit, I'm about to retire in a little bit. I can't be doing that.
Right.
So you have a little Social Security.
You got the right perspective.
I could dance. I think maybe I can still dance. Get some new booty in.
But that's good. You have the perspective and you're preparing, because a lot of parents don't prepare for when that time is coming. They just let their kid go to school, and all of a sudden senior year, they're like, the kid's like, oh, I want to go here. I want to
go to Duke.
Right. And they're like, okay, let's make it happen. That's where you want to go. We're going to send you there.
Nah, man.
You can't wait.
Listen.
There's this program that Julian's in, Kappa League, and they, he's what, 8th grade? They're already preparing them. They tell them about different loans. They talk to the parents about not loans, but scholarships and different ways to places that you can find information about scholarships and paying for school, because the point of the program is to get them through college with little or no expense.
Right.
That's the way. Yes, I believe in that 100%.
And that's the best way to go. But there's so many people that they take out all these loans, and then here's the flip side. So I'm in another Facebook group, and a girl had paid off.
Oh man.
She had paid off $40,000 of her loan, but she still had a balance. So she's like, what can I do? What are some tips that I can do to help me pay off this balance? And most of the responses were, I'm not paying off my loan ever. The government, but most people, this is the new thing now. People don't want to pay their loan back. And I'm like, you took out the debt. Well, they're preying on people. I said, okay, I know there's a percentage of people that go to schools that do prey on people. But that is a low percentage compared to all the people who are saying that you're not going to pay your loan back for whatever reason. Right. And so I was shocked. So I even put on my own Facebook, is this a norm? Is this what people, and a couple people I know were like, I ain't paying it back. The government makes tons of money. I ain't paying them back no money, because they make all that money on interest. I know the deal. And I was just like, wow, but people aren't going to pay. But you made that choice. You chose to take out the loan.
You took the loan
Nobody put a gun to your head.
It's a promissory note. You promised to pay the money back.
Right. And I was surprised that so many people have that mentality that the government owes them something. And even like with this whole political stuff, not to get political, but with the whole thing with paying off the loans, I'm like, I get it. I say forgive some loans, but don't just pay off people's loans. Because what they're going to do, they're going to go back to school and they're going to run it right back up. Because that's just how people work when you give them stuff. Teach them to fish. I agree with that. Yes. They're going to fish for life. But you just feed them, they're just going to feed for that day and be hungry tomorrow.
Because there are a lot of people, just in general, that if they know they can get something for free, they will take it. They will never pay it back or pay it forward to someone else. And they'll just look for something else. So I totally agree with that. I feel like, as far as school though, cause when I lived in California, it was free to go there, right?
Oh, I know you went to school in California.
I didn't go to school over there, but I found out about it. I was going to go to school over there.
I had a friend move to Tennessee because it was free. They moved to Tennessee so her son could go to college for free.
And I think that's what it should be. I think college should be free at public schools, public universities. And I think you had just to pay for, like your lab fees. And books, I think some kind of different fees. But I don't think that, as a parent, we should, or our kids should have to incur $100,000 in debt to go to a public school or even a private school. Cause they get, as far as, schools for Julian, like, athletics, they make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Off the
so
athletes,
why can't they use some of that money for free education for the other students that are coming? Because they're going to pay it back, right? There's alumni associations and stuff like that. So I feel that we need to they definitely need to do something with the public school system or the university system to make it where it is free. And the people that took out loans, maybe they can look at it from the standpoint that, okay, your principal was this, you've paid off more than half of the principal or 3/4 of the principal, and then we'll just charge you a certain amount of interest through this time, and so that they can move on from that. Because as you know, your student loans affect, or bad credit affects everything.
Yes, it does.
Can't buy a house. Can't get insurance. Can't buy a car. I mean,
I think the insurance thing is crazy. It never used to be connected to your insurance, did it? Credit? Right?
Right.
It never used to be connected to your insurance.
Good insurance companies would look at your credit,
Man,
like
back in the
State
day,
Farm and Allstate.
Man,
but if you
your
want
credit's
the
connected.
general,
Even getting a job now, I know.
Yeah.
Employment, they look at your credit score, which I think is...
Well, depending upon what kind of job you have. Because that increases if you're...
My job did. I'm like, that's weird. You can look at my credit.
If you're in a position, certain like jobs like finances or whatever, they say you have an increased likelihood if you're under financial duress to steal. Right. Right. But the one thing
it's about your integrity, because if you're taking out a loan or if you have something on credit and you're paying it on time, that tells a lot about your integrity. Right. So that's what they're looking at, even if it isn't a finance related job.
I like that word, integrity, because a lot of people don't have it.
No.
Because they ain't paying back them loans.
That's right, Papa.
But that's one thing too, though, that a lot of kids do. And I have my nieces who've been to college and they did some of this stuff where they had Pell Grants. They had free money to go to school, and they still racked up loans. Taking out a
loan so they can buy. Well, I used to go shopping.
Car, clothes.
Even when I would warn them ahead of time and be like, I would warn them and be like, you don't want to take out these loans. You're doing this. Don't do this, and this instead. But instead, they go and they get all these loans, and then like, how am I going to pay these back? Like the kids just don't correlate. And this is partly why too, I don't think parents should, pump money into their kids for school if the kid hasn't done their part.
Right.
Is they get the money.
The schools have a part to play in that too, because why are they telling this child who's 17 or 18 years old, hey, we'll give you $2,000 this semester and you can get another $2,500 or $2,600 next semester. Don't worry about it. When you finish school, and the grades may not even be that good.
Yep.
As long as you're as long as you're enrolled, then you can get the money and you're in good standing.
As long as you don't have, as long as your GPA doesn't go to a certain point, then you can get the money. Right. Yeah. And so that's another part of the problem is the schools, they just want, people coming in to pay. They want, it doesn't matter what kind of, they offer all kind of weird degrees that you can't really get no job in, but they're like, well, as long as you come in and you graduate, that's what we care about. Right. So the students are at a disservice because they do get bad information. But even when they're given good information, I don't know what it is at that age in life at 18, 17, 19 years old. Their brains just don't seem to process everything.
Right.
Cause I used to work at a college and we would tell people like, hey, if you get all this loans, we try to, if they needed
counsel
it,
them.
if they needed it, then fine. But if not, then we try to maybe you don't need to get the loan if you can do this and this.
Right.
But they always wanted to get the loan.
Because it's that's because of our society is immediate gratification.
Yes.
Right. So they're not looking at long term what it's gonna cost. So we, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
They're not looking at the long term they're not looking at the long term effects, right?
Right.
There are, when I was in banking, I definitely used to, I remember I wanted to do like a class in elementary school for, finances. So they understand, like my son knows. Well, I think sometimes he used to think like the money used to just appear on a card.
Right, a card. Yep.
So I gave him a card and he tried to buy something like Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever. He was like shopping going after school every day.
He lost his mind. That's what he lost.
Was some chicken
I got free money, player.
Right.
Then one day he went in there and he was it's not working.
Because they don't think about it.
Because I gave you $20. You need to think wisely. Do you need to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken every day after school?
Kentucky Fried Chicken was good. I don't know if it's good no more.
I don't eat that. It gives me other kind of gastrointestinal problems. So it's like I'm trying to teach him the value of money.
Right.
Just even the way that he treats money physically, where he throws it down. I'm like, that's money. You need to put it in a wallet. You need to keep your money together, know where your wallet is at all times. But I don't really have a lot of cash most of the time.
Right.
I use the card. So even for me, I have to like stop myself and say, wait a minute, it's so easy to just swipe. But, we have to teach our kids, especially our black and brown kids. Like we need to teach them the value of credit and how to manage their money, especially before they get to school.
That's
because
true.
That is when, they get there and somebody tells them about a loan. Don't worry about it. My son's going to ask, well, is there an interest rate? Like how long do I have to pay that? I mean, those are questions that he should be asking. And that I try to, hit him over the head, because I do, subprime auto finance.
Oh, okay.
And so when I see
subprime,
28%.
Yeah.
For 72 months.
72 months at 28%.
You're a loan shark, Jackie.
Oh, snap.
You're a loan shark. I'm not judging.
You them.
I need to go into business with you.
You're part of those
so
people
I can get paid.
That they be talking, people on my Facebook group, they be writing about. They're like, I bought a car. No, listen though. This is what they were talking about. They be like, I bought a car. It was $10,000 and my interest rate is, 28%.
Yeah.
And the car just broke down and I still owe,
I got a question about that.
$12,000.
Right.
And the car's worth $2,000.
Who are these people that come in here for these? Do they understand what how interest works on money? Do they even? I don't think they don't.
They just want a car. They just want a car.
Yeah, because they've already jacked up their credit.
So they're desperate.
Yeah.
So they don't even care about interest.
They're looking at the payment and they need a reliable vehicle.
They're not even looking at the 28%. It could have been 50% interest.
That's how car dealers get most people. It doesn't, even if you have good credit, they get you because you walk in and you're like, okay, I need my payments at $300.
Right.
Okay. All right. 84 months, you get your
Hell no, I'm not doing that.
At 19%.
Right.
And you're not even thinking
about that. And then
your
car, 5 years down the line, your car might start to die. And then you're like, oh man, or the interest rate or whatever.
They don't like us when we get cars.
But you're upside down and people don't know.
Just so you know, Gap is a scam too. Like, it's good to
have it. Everybody's been talking about that lately.
It is a scam.
The first couple of years of the loan, it makes sense, but they cap it at, I think it's, like 125%. So if you buy a car at 150% loan to value, you still have to pay some money out of pocket. So like 25%.
So that's kind of like,
I didn't know that.
We're off topic, but like, that's like if you have a car and you trade it in and you roll it into your new loan, that's how you get that over 100. Yep.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. Cause you've already, you're put no money down. This is, I hear these
no
stories
money down
all the time.
That's why we have no car payment.
So they buy a car, say the car costs $15,000, right? I'm talking like a new car.
Yeah.
Even though they're way more than that, but it's $15,000. The car they have now, it's worth 10, but they owe 15. So what they say is, if you owe that, okay, we're going to roll that in. So now you have a $30,000, right?
5,000 added to the new loan.
Yeah, the difference.
And your $20,000 vehicle that you're purchasing is now, you will now have a loan of $25,000 on it.
And plus, don't even blink if you add anything insurance and warranties and all those other things on there. So then you're even deeper in with the car. And then you're under, and then you can't refi because your car, you owe more than your car's worth.
Right.
And it's like a never ending cycle for people if you don't have the money to finally pay it off when your car dies. Cause most cars don't last.
They don't last.
The 8 years or 7 years. It's 5 years and people get rid of them. So
that's cause I don't own the car. That's why.
Yeah. Maybe Jackie, you need to come back.
I'm looking for a husband to buy me a car cash. So
what are you looking over here for?
I know you're not.
Looking at you. She just said she put that out there.
I'm looking at you.
All my single friends
that
are looking for someone beautiful.
Yes.
Give me a call. I got somebody for you right here.
Yes.
In the studio.
All the single men out there. If you want to buy a woman a car, Jackie's your woman.
Yes.
I have a vehicle now, but I would like something newer. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
But Jackie, thank you for coming on today.
Me and you, we both want Range Rovers.
Oh, you want a Range Rover too, man? I'm fighting myself.
I'm sticking with my M5, so I'm going for that.
Right now, we're going to stick with the 2009 Mazda CX-9 and the 2011 Honda Accord for now. But Jackie, thanks for coming in and talking with us today.
Thank you guys for having me. This was fun. I really enjoyed this.
So maybe you can come back
again.
Yeah, we need to do maybe the car thing and educate people on buying a car.
Yeah,
something
that would be that would be great.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you came on today, Jackie. This was a great show. You're gonna have to get a segment.
Fun.
We got to give her a segment, Natalie.
This is fun.
But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. You can join us on, I hope I remember all these things again, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Castbox, the Family Mess Podcast page, Facebook page. What else do we got, Natalie?
I have no idea. You need to write a list
and
read them off. I don't know.
Spotify. I think I named all of them.
Yeah, I think you're good, Ian. I think
join us, give us some feedback because we love you all, and we got more.
Subscribe, and share. Tell your friends about the show.
Like, subscribe, and tell everybody.
Everybody and their mama.
And we'll join you soon. And God bless. Mess, family mess. That's funny.